The hole in the wall. I loved sharing a room with my brother. But one day my parents said that my brother was going to move out of our room. He was going to have a room of his own. We wouldn't share anymore. So he moved out the model cars he had made and the model trains and the model planes. They all went off to the room next door, his room. In there, he set up the model cars he had made and the model trains and the model planes. And soon he got to work making something new, something really big. I wanted to be in there while he was making it, but I had to go to bed in my room, the room that used to be our room. So I had an idea. I had a metal ruler, a hard steel ruler with sharp edges and corners. I got into bed with this metal ruler, and just where the bed meets the wall, just out of sight of anyone looking, I started to scratch the wall with the hard corner of the metal ruler. Scratch, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape. I was making a hole through to my brother's bedroom. I twisted the corner of the metal ruler round and round and round. Scratch, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape. And after ages of scratching and scraping, all I'd made was a little tiny dent in the wall. So I went to sleep the next night and the next. Scratch, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape. The dent got a tiny bit deeper. And the next night and the next. Scratch, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape. After a few nights, I reached a bit of wood. Should I try to scrape through the wood or round it? I decided to go over the top. But this would make the hole wider, and maybe someone would see it, but I didn't care. I had to go on. I had to make the hole. I had to get through to my brother's room. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scrape, scrape, scrape. It was now a little cave in the wall, a secret tunnel. I wet my fingers in my drink and then dabbed the dry plaster with my fingers. The plaster went dark. The secret tunnel was wet. What if I could shrink myself down and crawl through it, be an explorer bravely climbing through the dangerous cave? Will I get through, or will I be trapped in here forever? Just then, my dad popped his head round the door. "Good night, Mick," he said all cheerily. I hadn't heard him coming. Oh no, he mustn't see it. So I sat up in the bed and quickly twisted round to cover up the hole in the wall. He mustn't see the hole. But he saw me do this sort of sitting up, twisty round thing. Oh no, he's seen me. Instead of going back downstairs, he opened the door and walked into the room. Still cheery, he says, "What's that you're doing? What are you covering up there?" "Nothing." "Now come on, Mick, look at you. I can see from the way you're sitting, you're covering up something." Still cheery, he says, "Oh, come on. Come away from the wall, let me have a look." What could I do? I had to let him see, so I leaned forward and he saw it straight away. The hole in the wall. Oh no, it's the moment when the cheery stuff stops. It's the moment when the cheery stuff stops. He stood there, staring at the hole in the wall. He pointed at it. "What's that?" he says. "It's a hole in the wall," I said. "I can see it's a hole in the wall," he says, "but how in heaven's name did you make a hole in the bedroom wall?" "With this," I said. And I pulled the metal ruler out from under the covers. He slapped his hand on his forehead. "You've wrecked the wall," he says. He shouted for my mum. Connie, come and have a look at this." And of course, my brother comes running along behind her. All three of them stood by my bed, staring at the hole in the wall. "Look what he's done," says my dad. Look at it. He's wrecked the wall. It's wrecked." "Oh, Michael," says my mum. And my brother is giggling and giggling. "It must have taken him ages," he says. And Mum is saying, "But Michael, what did you think you were doing? And why did you do it?" And I said, "I was trying to get through to Brian's room." And my brother says, "But Mick, you could have just got up, walked out the door, walked across the landing and in through my door.